What's happening? And welcome back to another episode of the Account for Your Life podcast. I'm Jay Moore, the healthy accountant, helping you to account for your life. And what an awesome and incredible Monday morning. Thank God it's morning. Thank God it's Monday. Thank God we got another day. Thank God for the ability to breathe. Thank God for the ability to see and the ability to work out, the ability to do all the stuff, man. Thank God for giving us the power every day to get wealth. The power every day to do what it is that we know we should do. The power every day to live the life that we know that God has called us to live. And so today, what an awesome and incredible Monday morning. And so we're just going to kind of pick up a little bit where we left off yesterday. I hope you caught yesterday's podcast. I was introducing this idea of unconditional love as we are moving into like this new understanding of who we are. And unconditional love, a lot of times, like, you can't have it without this one thing. And so I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what the one thing is. You can't have unconditional love without belief. You can't have unconditional love without faith. It's absolutely impossible to have unconditional love without belief and without faith. Like you might as well just hang it up. Because if we don't have belief and faith, then how can you have unconditional love? Because unconditional love means that it doesn't matter what happened yesterday. It doesn't matter what happens. I know wherever I'm going. I just know it. So if you can't have unconditional love without faith, without belief, then how does that look? And what does that really mean for people who know they have a calling on their life? So back in 2020, it was in January. I could feel the excitement. Can you remember January of 2020? Come on, man. Think about it. 2020, that felt different. It felt like this would be a powerful year. I remember me and my boy Frank, we took some pictures down at I think we were at the MGM, at the National Harbor right here in Maryland, not too far from my house. Went there, took some pictures, and we took pictures looking out. We were looking out at, the Woodrow Wilson Bridge is right near where, the MGM Hotel is, and you have the Potomac River, and we were looking out. My son took a picture of us, and it reminds me of the vision. It reminds me of the vision. See, because think about unconditional love. When you think about what do I need to really embody unconditional love, we're going to need belief and faith. And so when you look out, it's like you look forward. You look forward and you're looking forward, saying to yourself, man, I can see the mountaintop. I can see where I would like to go. I can see my dreams. I can see my hopes. I can see it. But without belief and faith, it's not possible, because we've got to have an unconditional connection to what it is that we have to do, that even when the pandemic hits, you do not falter. So it's January 2020. Got the vision. It was coming clear, but didn't quite know exactly what was going to happen. Look, stay with me on this one, because somebody's going to be released into their purpose today. So here it is. It's 2020, and then Kobe Bryant dies. Oh, that was big. I remember it's a Sunday afternoon. I saw the reports. I'm like, what was happening? Then Kobe Bryant, when they finally have his funeral, sometime in February, like the middle of February, and then right after that, stuff started getting weird. And I remember January, right on Super Bowl, February, we took some family photos, and on the shirt, that was the first time I created the Healthy Accounting shirt. On the back, it says "Account for Your Life: Faith, Fitness, and Finances." And I just remember that, and it was something I spoke. Man, this is big. Faith, having faith, man, being faith fit, and then being fit, and then your finances turning around like to an unbelievable level. Wow. All right. So here's the problem. Without unconditional love, it's not even possible for me to get there. It's not even possible for me to realize it. It's not possible. See, unconditional love, a lot of times we think about unconditional love, we think about relationships, right? We think about relationships with people. We think of the relationships that I have with my spouse, the relationship that I have with my mother, my brother, my father, my sister, my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, my friends, whatever relationships that I have, you start thinking about relationships, right? And especially for those of us who are married, those of us in these kind of relationships, I gotta have unconditional love. And then there's conditions. Let's back up real quick. Because then the conditions comes up. Well, I'll love you if you acting right today, then everything is cool. But if you're not acting right, then nah, you can't get nothing from me. Come on, this is what people do in relationships. Because if I'm not getting what I want, which, man, look, I'm a selfish person. Like most of us are somewhat selfish because we only want what we want. And so unconditional love most of the time doesn't exist. Come on, I know I said it. I'm telling you straight up, unconditional love a lot of times doesn't exist in relationships because there's always a condition. Why is it that people get a divorce? When I look at my friends, when I look at the people around me and folks who get a divorce and they get multiple, or even one time and never get married again, is because they didn't have an unconditional love for the person because something happened. They said, forget it, it's over. I'm not saying they shouldn't have got a divorce. All I'm saying is that unconditional love. What does unconditional love do? Hopes for all things, believes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. Unconditional love is something that we all possess. How do we possess unconditional love when, Jay, it just seems like I can't get past what she did. I can't get past what he did. I can't get past the situation that I was in. They took advantage of me. Remember yesterday we talked about to have unconditional love, you got to be willing to be manipulated. I'm not saying that you want to be manipulated. I'm not saying you're hoping for manipulation. What I'm saying is you've got to be willing to go through manipulation. Unconditional love. Remember, we're talking about having it, right? So how does one have something? How does one have something? If I would like to have $1 million, how do I have it? If I would like to have a perfect relationship, how do I have it? If I would like to have the body of my dreams, how do I have it? How do I have anything? How does that work? How? Do you get things merely just because you want to have it? Or do you get things because you make a decision and you say, okay, I'm going to be a millionaire? What do millionaires do? And I heard millionaires read a lot. At least, when I was reading a story on Warren Buffett, I heard he reads like 6 hours a day. When I'm talking to a lot of business people, they're talking about one of my guys, I've got a couple books of his, Patrick Bet-David. He's a very successful entrepreneur. He's read 1,000 books. I'm like, okay, well, he's sold a $100 million company. Then, I listened to this other one. He's like, man, he read a lot. And, sometimes they'll just read the same book over and over and over. And I was like, oh my goodness, like they read a lot. So I'm going to have to read. I don't like reading. But you know what? I'm going to be a multimillionaire. So I have to love the fact that reading gets me where I want to go. And it doesn't matter. I love the fact that God's sending me this direction so much that I'll do whatever it takes. I hope you caught that. Whenever we want to have something, we've got to find out what it is or the type of people that do it. And if you don't know anybody doing it, you're going to have to create it. And so that means I have to become a person that I wasn't. So when I'm thinking about stuff like that, I'm thinking about stuff like in this book, Living Life on the Next Level, which in Living Life on the Next Level, it's a storybook of situations that put me in a place where I had to change. That was the first thing. Oh my goodness, I want to do something different. Well, you better change then. How did I come up with that idea? It was like, well, I'm reading the Bible. I went to Christian schools, 1 through 8. 9 through 12, college. I went to Christian schools the whole time. And then I look back, I say, man, I was involved in religion for the past 50 years. I'm like, wow, long time. And then no one ever paid attention. I'm not saying they didn't read it, but it was this one verse that Jesus said that when I understood what it meant, it was like, oh, that's where you start. Matthew 4:17. You read that one before? Have you ever read it? It's so short that you miss the understanding of it because we think it means something that it doesn't mean. It says, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Some translation says the kingdom of heaven has arrived. Some translation says the kingdom of heaven is near. So wait a second. Let's just back up. Let's back up on that right now. If the kingdom of heaven is at hand, the kingdom of heaven is near, the kingdom of heaven, has arrived. What does that mean? Well, I looked up the word repent. What does it mean? It's not talking about sin. It's not talking about doing bad. You got to stop doing bad things. It just says change how you think. And then the kingdom of heaven is here. So in order for me to understand the kingdom of heaven, I'm going to have to change my understanding of all the religions that I've gotten in my life. I may have to suspend my beliefs. I introduced this last week, introduced suspending beliefs. I may have to suspend the beliefs that I have, which was, oh, this is what I believe. Okay, let's hold off for a second. Let's see if I need to do something different. And then when I keep reading this over and over and I keep understanding, I said, oh, well, I'm going to let go of that and I'm going to take that. So the catalyst for everything to, when you talk about unconditional love and changing your beliefs and, and getting yourself set up to have unconditional faith, it's change. That's it. We can stop here. Change. That's it. We just got to change. Think about, I want something different. Change. Man, I want to have something change. Man, I want to go somewhere. Change. Everything is a change. And I'm going to tell you, man, I woke up this morning, I'm driving to the gym, man. You know what's so funny? I'm going to start posting every day again, that I go to the gym. I don't think people know I go to the gym anymore. Like, because, I do post, I do 500 push-ups a day, but folks don't know that I'm still the healthy accountant and I'm still doing it. So I'm going to maybe I start posting at the gym again, just so folks know that I'm doing it, right? Everybody else is doing it. Not that I need to do it, but anyway, I'm going to the gym and I'm thinking about the dream. I'm thinking about, what God is asking me. What would you like to do? What would you like to have? I'm like, oh, like if your day was perfect, how would you like to see that day? And I'm like, have you ever been excited about like doing something? Man, if my day could just be just like this, wow, this would be amazing. Can't it? You're gonna need some love for that, buddy. And you're gonna need some belief and faith, buddy. Because without belief and faith, without actually believing that it's possible, without actually believing that this will happen, it won't happen. Nothing happens by happenstance. Well, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say it. A lot of things that you desire won't just happen. We got to actually think. We got to think about it. We got to talk about it. We got to do whatever it takes, whatever action steps are necessary. We're going to have to do them. See, because anything that we would like to have is going to require a doing. Quick story for you. And this could be a testimony. For the past, I would say in 2000, maybe around 2004, my knee swelled up. And I know why. I went to the doctor, and the doctor says, "Oh, you have arthritis." Arthritis? What are you talking about? Yeah, you got arthritis. And so it swelled up, and then it stopped, and then back in 2012, like I can remember, 2012, I was playing a bunch of leagues, and both my knees start swelling up. I'm like, what in the world? Both my knees swelling up. Like, I'm like arthritis. I go to the doctor. They give me this. They give me some injections. But you got arthritis. Here's what happened. I came into the kingdom. I says, I don't want to have that. You don't have arthritis? No. Well, don't say you have it anymore. So I said, okay. I stopped saying I have it. But here's the thing. I still have pain. Lots of pain. Like my knees would hurt. Like I could just be walking and my knee hurts. Okay, but don't talk about it. Okay, I won't talk about it. Because that's not what I would like to have powerful knees, strong legs. And I began 2014, I began to go on the journey, the health journey. And here's the thing, a lot of times we do things and we want the outcome. They don't come as fast as we would like. Is there a way to get things faster? Absolutely. There are ways to get things faster. And I can tell you, I probably could have had better results with that faster had I done other things. But you know what? It doesn't really matter. I'm here today. Yeah, it's been 10 years since I've started working out. I'm excited that today as I stand here, I have a desk that I can stand up at now. I stand here and I say to myself, wow, my knee, which last month was hurting. This month, it's one of these things where it almost feels like, is the pain almost gone? Like, it doesn't swell up anymore. Stop swelling. Because I've proactively over and over stayed with, I know this thing is going to get better. I know at some point my knee is going to be so strong, that I'll be able to do things that I couldn't do at 40. I'm 52. So when I stand here today, even last week, my knees were hurting a little bit. And I'm like, it's not hurting. See, what happens is when you move towards, when you have unconditional love, let's come at that. You have unconditional love for who you are. Because that's really what this is about. It's not love on the outside. It's love on the inside. We have unconditional love about who you are. And you embrace all of who you are, meaning the stuff that's in you, the problems, the situations, all the stuff that you don't like, you just embrace it with love. Oh, I still love me some me, but you know what? There's a better version coming. Because this unconditional love, we do not want to allow ourselves to take away the power that God has given us. Deuteronomy 8:18 says, it is I who gives you the power to get wealth. Listen, we ain't talking about money. What we're talking about is all the wealth, health in our bodies. Who don't you want a perfect body? I want a perfect body here on the planet. I'd like to be able to give a testimony that at 70 and 80 years old, how God transformed me to a point that He gave me a perfect body so that when I'm 80 and 90, should I live that long? It's like, wow, he's still 40, he's still 50. And he just moves and he acts and he lives this way, but it starts with the love. I've got to have a love for myself before I have a love for anything or anybody. So that means when I look down at my feet and I say, I got a bunion, but I love me. I got a bunion on my left foot. And I'm like, man, you know what? I think that bunion can go away. I've been seeing things lately, man. You don't have to have surgery. Man, you know what I think? I think I'm going to get rid of my bunion. I think I'm not going to have surgery. Wow. I had surgery on one of them, but you know what? I think I'm going to get that's going to go away. Man, I think this arthritis, I don't got that no more. Man, I think I'm going to be so strong. And all of a sudden, things are feeling better. And it's like, man, who would want to be rich? But here's the thing. It's not that I desire it. It's that I am that. See, when you have unconditional love, right? Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, self-control. Like when we have embodied all of the fruit of what God already placed in us. God placed that stuff in us. It's easy. It's like love. Bro, you've been walking around with that all your life. He said, so you don't have to strive to have it. You don't have to strive for anything. There's nothing you have to strive for. Proverbs 10:22 says, the blessing of the Lord, it maketh rich and adds no sorrow with it. So when I think about that text, I remember when I first got introduced to that text, I was like, oh my goodness, you're telling me that things can happen without me striving for it. Says, yeah. You don't have to do that. I'm not saying you don't have to work. You have to strive. Because when you are something, you get everything that is associated with it. Did you catch what I'm saying here? You get everything that's associated with it. I heard something powerful this morning when I was at the gym. I'm going to share it before we go. And it really was the best understanding of belief that I've heard in a while. I was listening to Eric Thomas, something that he recently put out. And he asked everybody, he says, hey guys, anybody here believe? No. I think he said, anybody here ever play the lottery? The Mega Millions, and then no, he said back, anybody here ever went? No one ever won the Mega Millions. He says that whole system of lottery, Mega Millions, was built on belief. And so I'm not going to explain as good as he did. What I'm going to share is that people believe that it's possible to get the Mega Millions, even though they never win it. Catch that. People believe that it's possible to win the Mega Millions, even though they never win. And they know the odds are against them, and they still play. So he's just like, that whole system was built on belief. He says, what if you believed? He didn't say unconditionally. That's why I'm throwing. What if you had unconditional love for God and you believed everything? Then you would go after it, even though knowing that at some point I think I'm gonna get it. I know I'm gonna get it. People spend their hard-earned money to play the Mega Millions. I think recently, I guess it might have been $1 billion. I think I may have played once in my life, and I just realized I ain't winning, so I ain't getting involved. So when we think about belief is a foundation. And there's things that you don't even have. Like people not sitting around trying to believe if the Mega Millions are real. No one's wondering if the lottery system is real. They know it's real. They know that they're probably never going to win. You got some people that play so much that they win little games, but they may get a couple hundred, maybe even $1,000, couple $1,000. Sometimes they win a couple thousand, but for the most part, they never get the mega. But they still believe as if they will get it. So unconditional love is one of these things where when we factor in having belief in what we love, there's no stopping where we can go. There's no stopping who we are capable of becoming. Because once we make the decision that I will be, and once we say I will be, but here's one better. I am that thing. I am in perfect health. I am a multi-millionaire, 100 millionaire, whatever it is, billionaire, whatever God would like for me to be. I'm a 3-time published author. I'm a world-renowned best-selling author. Millions of books being sold. Millions of people's lives being changed. Like when we embody the I amness of it unconditionally, and we know that it's possible with our belief and never wavering, you can't help but get it. God has set this whole experience up for us so that, one, we take on his mind and we enjoy the love that he has for us, then we can embody his love. So then we can use his love within us so that love within us can now transact through us, that we might be able to share that love to other people. And when people see love, unconditional love, they gravitate towards it. And that could be the catalyst for change in your world, in your country, in your experience, in your family, wherever it is that you take it. That love is what could start a movement, a process, a way of life. That's what it is. So let's love and let's know, let's believe in faith that all things are working out for our good because we know we are called for a purpose. That's God's message today. So guys, I want to thank you for joining me for this episode of the I AFYL Podcast. This book, on Friday, June the 14th, is shipping out from Amazon. Make sure you share this with a friend. If they are a business owner, would like to be a business owner, they should read this book. It's a fun read, and I think people will love reading it. And just like me, I love taxes. Taxes are fun. Taxes are easy. And just by understanding that and how taxes can be used to help you to get to a new level. That's why we wrote this book, Beyond Tax Strategy. God bless you guys, and I will see you on the next episode. Peace.
This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.